Probing PlayStation, Far Cry 6, free weekend on the PlayStation 5. We're going to talk about everything that this game takes advantage of on the hardware. But first, we're going to let the game do the talking. Pay attention to how smooth the gameplay is, pay attention to the vibrant colors, and just the overall ambiance that the game presents on the PlayStation 5, and then we'll get into what specifically the game does to take advantage of your PlayStation 5. The first thing that you'll notice while playing Far Cry 6 on your PlayStation 5 is how smooth and responsive the gameplay feels. I don't know if this is a locked 60 frames per second, but I'm not worried about it, and neither should you, because while playing this game with the PlayStation 5 hardware, it is silky smooth. You can see in this gameplay, 4K 60 frames per second, how responsive everything is, and I can tell you that the gunplay in this game has been refined from past Far Cry games, and it just feels really good, and especially while using that DualSense controller. And we're going to talk about that because that's one of the biggest additions to this game in utilizing PlayStation 5 specific features and hardware, and I know that's what you're here for, and you're going to absolutely love when we get to that section. But in terms of just overall gameplay and how smooth it feels, I'm just walking through this environment. You can see how amazing the graphics are in this game, how smooth and detailed the gameplay is, the ray tracing there in the puddle. It is just a testament to utilizing the strengths of the specific hardware, a third party, a cross-gen game, but they are utilizing all the extra features of your PlayStation 5. So you want to know how good does this game look when you sit down and you actually load it up on your big 4K television. You're not interested in all the minutia, the detail, how many pixels per pixels are there on the screen. I can tell you on a large 70-inch 4K television, this game is absolutely sharp and crisp. Again, native 4K, close to 4K, I'd say it's there. And it is absolutely stunning to look at. And when you combine the frame rate and just the overall graphical presentation and resolution, the PlayStation 5 is definitely being utilized. It's definitely worth a look if you have that new hardware. And they are not just giving you a lazy port here, they're utilizing, again, those strengths that you purchased your system for. The PlayStation 5, the GPU, the CPU are being used to output higher resolution and higher frame rate here, making this game so much better to play. And we're not even at the DualSense yet. I can't wait to talk about that one because that's what you want to hear about, those extra features that separate the PlayStation 5 from all the other next-gen systems. Not just graphics, not just frame rate, but also other features that add to the overall experience of your PlayStation 5. The DualSense controller, the haptic feedback, it is utilized fully in this title. When you're pulling back on that left trigger, there is just enough resistance to go into aim mode, and pulling down on the right trigger for the trigger in this game when you're utilizing weapons, there's just enough give. It feels so good. And the haptic feedback in the controller, you can feel everything. Everything from moving around in grass to driving in a car on a road to walking on the beach. The utilization of those key elements of the PlayStation 5, the reason why you bought that system. Yes, we're getting cross-gen titles, but you want them to take advantage of your system in ways that other systems can't, and this system does it. If you're a fan of Far Cry in any way, shape, or form, this game completely and totally takes advantage of that PlayStation 5 system. And as a PlayStation 5 user, this is one that you're going to want to check out, if for no other reason than to see all of these additional features be utilized in ways that other games haven't. But what about that super fast SSD in the PlayStation 5? The fastest of any console. Yes, it does utilize the SSD, and the load times are kept to a minimal, and it is just a great overall presentation for you, the PlayStation user, when it comes to Far Cry 6. Do I recommend this game? Absolutely, if you're a fan of Far Cry. If you're just looking for something with tons of combat, a large open world with tons of things to do in it, fantastic graphics, taking advantage of the PlayStation 5's special features and the DualSense, the SSD, not to mention the increased resolution and the buttery smooth frame rate, and that DualSense controller just feels so good in the hand when you're playing any game, third person, action, adventure, and now first person shooter. This is a game that I think you'll enjoy. This one's a winner when it comes to utilizing that new PlayStation 5 hardware in many interesting and unique ways. Remember to support Probing PlayStation with a like, Remember to support Probing PlayStation by subscribing. Remember, support Probing PlayStation.